Amazon warehouses, cathedrals of consumerism, temples of 2-day shipping, also apparently places where people pee in bottles, but hey, at least you can get a Roomba delivered by Tuesday.
Inside these behemoths, workers hustle. They pick, pack, and ship at a pace that would make a hamster on a wheel say, "Whoa, slow down there, buddy." It's all tracked, timed, and optimized for maximum efficiency.
Efficiency for whom, you ask? Well, not the poor sods sprinting to the bathroom. The work is tough, repetitive, demanding. Think of the worst temp job you ever had, then add a dash of dystopian sci-fi, and you're getting close. But hey, at least it's a job, right? In this economy, well, about that. Injured on the job? Sprained your wrist trying to keep up with the robot overlords? No worries, Amazon's got you covered. With AmCare. It's like regular healthcare, but with more fluorescent lighting and a lingering scent of cardboard. AmCare is Amazon's in-house medical service. Think of it as a cross between a walk-in clinic and a triage tent after a particularly brutal game of company softball. They can patch you up, give you some ibuprofen, and send you right back to the packing line. Because time is money, people. And by people, we mean Amazon shareholders. Now, some folks might say, isn't it nice of Amazon to provide on-site medical care? And sure, on the surface, it sounds fine. But what happens when your injury is a little more serious, when you need actual, medical professionals? Well, that's when things get interesting. And by interesting, we mean likely to result in a strongly worded letter from your lawyer. Politicians, those noble creatures, love to talk about workers' rights. They give rousing speeches about the dignity of labor, the importance of a living wage, blah blah blah. It's enough to make you believe they actually care.
Take Bernie Sanders, for example. He's made a career out of railing against corporate greed and fighting for the little guy. He even called out Amazon by name, demanding they improve working conditions.
And Kashima Sawant, the firebrand socialist council member from Seattle, she's been a thorn in Amazon's side for years, organizing protests and pushing for worker protections.
But here's the thing about politicians. Talk is cheap. And when it comes to actually standing up to corporate giants like Amazon, well, let's just say their courage tends to evaporate faster than a puddle of pee on a hot warehouse floor. Section 4, ALEC, the puppet master pulling the strings. Who is ALEC, you ask? No, it's not some guy named ALEC.
It's the American Legislative Exchange Council, and they're basically the evil puppet masters of the American political system.
They're funded by corporations including, surprise, surprise, Amazon. And what do they do with all that sweet, sweet corporate cash?
They write laws? That's right. ALEC drafts legislation designed to benefit their corporate sponsors, and then they hand those bills off to their pet politicians to introduce in state legislatures across the country.
And guess what kind of laws ALEC loves? Laws that make it harder for workers to unionize. Laws that weaken workplace safety regulations. Laws that make it easier for corporations to exploit their workers.
See where we're going with this?
Section 5, fighting back unions and the quest for federal standards. But fear not, dear listener, because it's not all doom and gloom.
Workers aren't taking this lying down. They're fighting back, and they're demanding better.
Unions are gaining a foothold in Amazon warehouses, giving workers a collective voice and the power to negotiate for better conditions.
They're demanding higher wages, safer working conditions, and an end to the soul-crushing pressure cooker that is the Amazon work environment.
And it's not just about Amazon. Workers across the country are demanding federal standards for workplace safety, fair scheduling, and paid sick leave.
Because guess what? Everyone deserves to work in a place where they don't have to worry about getting injured or being treated like a disposable cog in a giant profit-hungry machine.
So what can you do to help? Support workers' rights. Shop at businesses that treat their employees fairly. Donate to organizations fighting for worker justice. And for the love of all that is holy, if you see an Amazon worker, give them a high five, but maybe use hand sanitizer first, for hygiene.